Dobar dan, moje ime je Sanja Mijajlović. Adiko brand je lansiran prije 7 godina. O izazovima na tom putu, postignutim rezultatima, kao i ranjivostima bankarskog sektora uopšte, govorimo sa predsjednikom Upravnog odbora Adiko banke, Christophom Schoenom. Mr. Schoen, welcome to the Mina Agency studio.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
As I said in the introduction, Adiko brand was launched 7 years ago. The period behind us was quite challenging globally. However, last year you achieved the best results since the establishment. At this moment, how do you look at that path and what have you achieved?
Well, we started, as you rightfully said, 7 years ago to embark on a journey to change the bank from a universal banking strategy to a specialist player. We strive to become the number one in the market in terms of consumer lending and SME lending. And yes, the results last year were the best in the history of the bank. 3.9 million net profit we could achieve. But also other financial indicators are showing that the strategy is working very well and that we gain trust on the market and that we established to be a stable part of the banking sector with our specialist role.
In the first quarter, you made a profit of 1.5 million. What are the results for the first 6 months and what are your expectations for the end of this year?
Well, the net profit alone is not the only indicator we are looking at. So I cannot disclose what are the half-year results at the moment, but we are very confident that we will have again a successful year in 23. And what we are looking at are many indicators which are proving for us that the business model is working, like growing customer bases, liquidity ratios, risk ratios. So these are all indicators which are important for us. So the net profit alone is not the indicator which determines whether we are successful or not. But we are looking for a successful year again in 23.
A little over a year ago, you presented a new image and repositioning of the bank. Are you satisfied with the reaction of clients in the market and do they recognize you as a specialist bank?
So yes, I can answer both questions with yes. We are very satisfied with the results of the repositioning campaign. And there are two indicators which are supporting that. On the one side, we achieved 15% market share in the unsecured lending on PI side, on new business, which is really a fantastic result considering the size of the bank. On the other side, we have managed to achieve 80% of our consumer lending to be generated through digital channels. And this is confirming our investments in digital channels and is confirming also that the path that we took is the right one. So these are two indicators which are really making us proud and confirming that we are on the right path.
What are the bank's plans in the coming period when it comes to the positioning of the bank on market as well as the expansion of services and products?
Well, as we did over the last couple of years, we will continue to work of improving our processes. We will continue investing in digital channels and we want to deliver to the clients the best possible customer experience that we can manage. At the end, our goal is to provide financial services to our core segments, consumer lending and SME, wherever and whenever our clients need it, and towards these goals we are striving.
The banking sector in Montenegro is characterized by high level of liquid assets and growth of deposits. In that atmosphere, can you comment the current situation in banking sector?
Well, generally the banking sector showed over the last years a high resilience. The COVID crisis and also the Russian-Ukraine war brought huge challenges to the banking sector and to the entire economy. And together with the central bank and the measures that were taken, I think that the banking sector performed very well and supported the economy in this difficult situation. You're right, we have at the moment a very favorable liquidity situation in the market. There's a lot of funds coming in, especially from Russia and Ukraine. The question now will be whether these funds will stay in the country, whether we will find in the country attractive projects and investment opportunities for these funds, or whether these funds will again leave the country, which I hope won't happen.
What are your expectations regarding the interest rates? How it can affect the domestic economy?
Well, regarding the interest rates, this is a consequence of the current economic situation in Europe. I mean, the inflation is still very high in significant parts of Europe. The ECB is still increasing interest rates. Euribor is still increasing. How that will develop going forward, I cannot predict. But also in Montenegro, we see a high level still of inflation, unfortunately affecting the citizens heavily. And we are observing this situation carefully. I think that the banking sector is ready to react accordingly going forward. Whether the interest rates will still increase or not, it's at the moment really hard to predict.
As you said, the previous period in Montenegro was characterized by high level of inflation, also political instability. How do you see the perspective of Montenegro now, and what are the key challenges of Montenegrin economy?
Yeah, well, the recent years were difficult. That is true, but we also have to acknowledge that Montenegro is in a democratic transformation process. And I think it's a good sign and an encouraging sign that this transformation is performed in a peaceful way. I think this is already one very good sign. Nevertheless, the progress in the EU accession has been slowed down, and I hope that with the new government we will have again a bit of tailwind in terms of implementing of reforms, and to give clear signals to investors and to the citizens that the government takes the EU accession seriously and that we see here progress. That's extremely important to attract more foreign investors and to encourage the economy generally.
And last but not least, as a representative of foreign investors in Montenegro, can you comment the current environment, investment environment in our country?
Yeah, so I mean, as I said, we saw in the last couple of years a slowdown in reforms and some challenges when it comes to stability, political stability. This is not a good environment for investors. Investors are seeking stability and predictability, and I think in this respect the new government has some challenges in front of them in order to provide a stable and predictable environment going forward to attract investors.
Mr. Schoen, thank you for your time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Bio ovo Christoph Schoen, predsjednik Upravnog odbora Addiko banke. Ovaj video, ali i ostale sadržaje možete pogledati na našem YouTube kanalu kao i portalu mina.news. Do gledanja.